The medical experts, they get to pick and choose which variations are truly intersex and which ones aren't. Some of that means that when activists like me say, hey, there's a whole lot of medical intervention that's happening on these bodies that are like healthy, you know, we start seeing this sort of like pulling and sort of tensions around, oh no, these ones aren't actually intersex variations. It's just totally normal that we do these slight bodily changes,
the
on
corrective
infants.
surgeries and stuff like that.
And so there's certain things like hyperspadias and Klinefelters. Often what that means is that they'll allow a young person to be able to pee standing up.
Right. Okay.
So they'll change the placement of the urethra from the base of the penis to the end of the penis.
Okay.
It's quite a big deal to do that.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of tinkering on an infant's body.
Very invasive when you're talking
Very
about something
invasive.
that's just been birthed.
Yeah, you're potentially looking at multiple procedures under the age of 5, and for some people they need to continue to have corrective procedures later in life. So you're talking about a healthy body being medicalised so that you can perform roles of masculinity.
Right. Fit into these categories we're assigned.
I guess it just begs the question of like why are clinicians and parents in some cases being put into this position of having to help enforce these ways of behaving when actually lots of cultures around the world it's not that common for men to publicly pee together standing up.
Which it's a very strange circumstance.
Yes.
I've always found it, even growing up as a child, I was like, why does this have to be a communal thing?
Yeah. Like I love group activities.
Yeah, but maybe let's keep the waste removal separate from one another.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because like, you know, in lots of these debates about sex and gender affirming healthcare and like talking about us having autonomy and ownership over our own bodies, you know, bathrooms become such a loaded conversation.
It's the bathroom debate.
Yeah.
You know.
But at the same time, there's this kind of, oh, we better make sure that young boy can pee standing up.
It's almost deciding their fate from the moment they're born as to how they're going to use a bathroom.
Yeah. And I think that brings up the next continuum of this idea is also about how they perform heteronormative sex.
Right.
So it's already making assumptions about your sexuality at birth and also how you do manliness. And all of this, I know, like, these are quite heavy, big subjects. And for some people, it would be like, well, maybe it is a bit confusing. And if the doctors think that's the right thing to do, then it probably is. I'm sure there's lots of science and evidence about this. Again, we've got a small amount of niche experts that are given way too much influence over these cultural concepts that are actually all of our responsibility to discuss and ask questions about. Like you as a young person said, why do we have to pee together? maybe we could do that on a greater scale. And
let's pee together separately.
I'm happy to check in with you afterwards. Make sure it was a positive experience. But while I zoomed in onto those particular variations, that just gives you a tiny insight into imagining a spectrum of different ways that bodies are born or develop through life that challenge these ideas of normal bodies. I think the trajectory and the medical model that looks at what a healthy, functional body is undeniably connected to what a healthy, heterosexual, functional body is.